today I'm in the kitchen, and it's Sunday morning. For some reason, on Sundays after church, that's when I do the bird food for the week or the month. So today I've been doing the dry foods. I just got my order from Collaborating for Avian Wellness, C4AW. And here's how I do mine, because I have numerous birds. Different sizes of birds. I have finches and canaries and a budgie who thinks he's small. So I mix theirs in this, you can't see them. I mix theirs in this one container. Then I do another one for the teals and the parrotlets, and then another for the parrots. So what I do is I just take the mortar and pestle. I mean, you're in front of my big appliance cabinet or my baking center right now. I have all manner of tools with which I could grind, chop, whatever, and yet I use the hand tool because it seems like that's just easier and I can do exactly what I want. When I have done things like take the tops pellets and put them in the say the blender or in the food processor, they end up like dust, or they're not chopped enough for the little guys. So I just take the mortar and pestle, I stand in front of the bin that I'm getting ready to fill so that I remember where I am, and make it really small for the littles. Just grind a tiny bit for the cockatiels. They're kind of picky about their pellet size, and I leave it alone for the parrots. So this time, C4AW sent me 2 different sizes of tops pellets, and I think I screwed up because I ground one up, didn't read her note, ground it up, put it in the finch and canary bin, and then saw the note that said, we've sent you this other one. And it says, let me see if I've still got the bag here. Yeah, no, wait, what are you? You're not yet. Okay, I already used it up. Here's one. Yeah, it's the tops parrot food, and it says mini pellets, and it says 3 30-seconds diameter. And so that's what I should have been putting in there. And so I did put some, but I had already put some. Anyway, so I grind that. There were some of the argyres, I guess you say it, whole raw nuts. They're beautiful. And I simply put the whole nuts in for the parrots. You can kind of see this one in the cockatiel bin. I've ground those up just a little. And then I ground them all the way for the little guys. If you have any frustrations, it's a great time to take them out. And a bunch of the foods that they send are not for a dry mix. This is the dry. And they also send some that's for a mash. So I'll be making the mash shortly, and I can show you that. Some of the mash ingredients have to be soaked overnight. So that's not going to happen till tomorrow morning, but that's okay because I always have sprouts and vegetables and things going. We eat 2 salads a day at my house, so they always have something healthy and fresh to munch on. And also, I make Avian tea. There is Avian tea in the C4AW mix, but in addition to that, let me get in my big drawer again. I have this big drawer, and it's crammed all the way full with these products. This time, I switch around. I get the GreyWOOD Manor teas, and they also can come in your C4AW. I do both, and it's silly because then I'm paying shipping, right? This one is called Clean and Pure, and you just mix it up. Dr. Crean has a video, I think, on his site that shows you how to make your tea. So does Luann, for that matter. She did a video also. So you make your bird tea. In fact, I can show you the picture in the fridge. You mix up your bird tea, and I just give mine around 3 or 4 o'clock, tea time. I say, hey guys, how about some tea? Hope this isn't too messy for you. Here is my pitcher of tea, and you can see I've left all the flowers and things in it, and then I just offer them tea, and they think it's a great big treat, and everybody drinks it, and it's healthy. So that's, if you think about it, that's 3 times a day. It's morning, they get the fresh and everything. Mid-afternoon, they get their tea, and then around 5 o'clock, I start, 5 or 6, I start with the dry mix and give them that so that they can have that in the evening, and early in the morning if they're up before I am, which nobody's up before me. But that's okay. Just in case. So that's essentially how I'm feeding the birds. If you need more information, I've written a book called Feeding Finches. It's going to be republished I think the title's going to be feeding finches and canaries, but in essence, we feed all these guys the same, except for like eclectus and maybe macaws who have a little bit of a nutrition difference. You can learn everything you need to know about feeding whole, raw foods and good nutrition by reading this book, even if you have a larger parrot. So, just don't chop it as much, obviously. That's the only difference. So, let me know if you have any questions, and thanks for taking the time to listen. Bye-bye. Well, just my luck. I forgot to soak the things I was going to soak overnight. So let me just, and then I lost my video. Yeah, stupid human. So I'm going to try to tell you how this went. I do at least have some pictures. So I soaked 2 cups of raw whole almonds, a cup of shelled walnuts, and obviously for larger birds, you don't need to shell those, but I do, and I soak them to give better nutrition, make it more bioavailable. And also I soaked the 1 pound of Avian Fresh Diet parrot food and the Thrive Exotic blend. Now you don't have to do this, but I soaked the Tops organic dream mix because I have a lot of smaller birds. My finches and canaries will not touch them, but they love them if they're soaked. Go figure. So I put all those on about 11 or 12 in the daytime, so probably 6 to 8 at night. I fudged a little. I like for them to soak 8 hours. You'll see this is a big storage bin. I like it wider rather than deep because I can stir it better that way. And in this first picture, you'll see unsweetened coconut flakes. The top left is just the dust from the bottom of our walnut container for the humans. There are some rose hips that I buy whole, organic rose hips, and I grind them in the blender. And on the right, you'll see freeze-dried mealworms mixed with freeze-dried fly larvae and chopped in my food processor. Yum. The next layer here is cubed yellow squash. I'm going to say 2 or 3 squash. The 3 soaked foods. And I chopped all the nuts together, so there's one big pile. I did those in the food processor. In the rice cooker, I cooked brown rice and put the sweet potato in the top in the steamer basket. After a half hour, I took out the sweet potatoes. There were 3 of them. And I let them cool, and then I ran them in the food processor, which made it mashed like baby food. I probably overdid that one for sure. The rice, I'm not sure how much. It was a half a bag, a lot more rice than I normally cook, but I set a half of it aside for the people. Next, I added an entire bag of beet greens, a bundle of parsley. I chopped 6 jalapeno peppers, and there are 2 different frozen mixes. Now, the one you see here is like a summer blend with squash in it. I think it's called Normandy Blend, and it came from Walmart and has a yellow, label on the front. Last, I took a big bag of kale and chopped it up, and a bag of bird's eye frozen stir-fry veggies. I don't know why I did so much frozen this time. I don't usually. Now, you'll notice that I'm missing the sprouts. What I've been doing is I add those daily as I'm preparing the food. Today I'm sprouting a quart of lentils. Every day I do different kinds, and I can mix it up. They'll last for 2 or 3 days this way. I also add a lot of other foods like cucumbers, peppers, the wetter veggies that you don't want to freeze because they turn into mush. You could add boiled eggs too, but this mix has plenty of protein in it. Oh, and I forgot to mention the GreySTONE Manor Clean and Pure. I put about half the large bag in this mix. There was also a smaller bag of tea in the C4AW box, but I used that to put in the dry night mix. Now, when you buy the package, they will have instructions for you as to how to mix the night mix. I sort of mix things around because I also, I buy some other things like at Costco. I buy my shelled nuts and so forth. So my mix may not be exactly what you expect to see from theirs, but all in all, I think I'm feeding a really healthy diet. So thanks a lot for listening, and I hope you get a chance to try out my recipe here and see what you think. Bye-bye.